third hospital admission, I don't really remember a huge amount of it, but I do remember having an out-of-body experience during the night where I was looking down on the lifeless body below me. And I think that had some effect on my brain to say that actually this is really getting pretty bad now. By the end of the first week in intensive care, I had crashed into critical illness and multi-organ failure. And inevitably my family were expecting the worst news at that time. Fortunately though, by day 50, things started to improve. And I was actually taken off the ECMO circuit by that point. I was given a tracheostomy, and everybody started to have a bit more faith that I was potentially going to survive this ordeal. I didn't know anything about the whole ECMO period, and the wake-up call was by far the worst wake-up call of my life. I didn't know where I was. I didn't know actually who I was. I didn't know who the people were around me. I was pretty oblivious to what was going on, but I've got some fairly vivid paranoid and delusional memories of that time, some of which are still with me today. It has to be by far and away one of the most unpleasant things I've had done as a patient. And to have one of the physios pressing as hard as they possibly can in my lungs to make me cough violently. We got to the stage where the ventilator was eventually doing less for me and I was doing more for myself. And that was all very positive, but I still had the tracheostomy and still couldn't communicate. My body was numb from the neck down. My hands didn't really work and my legs couldn't move. So I was a bit of a captive, and I felt as if I was being held hostage at times, and had some sort of crazy thoughts that could I just get out of this place and return to my normal life? The team around me were just exceptional. They did everything they possibly could for me, did everything they possibly could for my family. The allied health professionals, the physios, the occupational therapists, the dietitians, and the speech and language therapists are the unsung heroes in the team that looked after me. I still feel that I'm on the journey of recovery. I've had three kind of fairly significant things that have plagued me since coming out of hospital. One of those is breathlessness. The second is a chronic neuropathic pain issue in my feet. And the third one is a post-viral arthritis. My lungs, I think I have to acknowledge the fact that they're probably not going to improve much from this point onwards. The post-viral arthritis, it's also slowly but surely improving. And I've been seeking some complementary therapy as well to help me with the more standard medical journey. And in forms of complementary therapy, I'm talking about chiropractor and acupuncture rather than anything that's illegal or dangerous. I think it would be helpful to have a sort of either a thermometer sort of type graph or something visual that's beside the patient's bed every day that just shows how they're going, but something visual, something that's there all day that you can focus on as a sort of aid to help sort of strive harder day in, day out to get better. The other little thing I've got is really for the family around, and whilst they were really, the team were really good at keeping my wife and family informed, there were some days that they just couldn't give her much time and communicate with her because they were too busy looking after the other very sick patients. And in some ways, my wife tells me that all she would have wanted is a quick text message to say, we can't phone you, but everything's just about okay, and we'll be in touch if anything changes. And she, again, as a fairly analytical person, found that those points in the journey where there wasn't any news, she perceived that to be bad news. 1 year anniversary of going into hospital, I was able to stand at the top of one of the Scottish mountains and look northeast to Aberdeen and southeast to Dundee and give thanks for what everybody in the NHS had done for me. It was a truly special moment